Welcome back. Thanks for being here. I thought I would come on and share a conversation that Paul and I had this morning over coffee. We are just coming off from a vacation. We went to Boston to visit our second daughter, Haley. You may recall she lived in New York City for, I want to say, 5 or 6 years. And she started dating a gentleman who lived in Boston. They've been dating for a couple of years, long distance, but that's not real far. It's a train ride away. And now she lives in Boston. So first trip to Boston, Paul and I went to visit them. And we also spent the weekend in Newport, Rhode Island, which was so lovely. I loved Boston. Everything about it. I can't wait to go back. And I absolutely loved Newport. And I cannot wait to go back there as well. Well, this morning we were talking because we had applied for Masters tournament tickets for next year. Many of you are probably not familiar with Masters golf tournament, but it is like the big tournament in the PGA. And Paul and I have gone in the past, several years ago. You apply for tickets, and they're very hard to get. And we have applied every single year since the year that we went, and we have not gotten them. And this year we got a little bit more aggressive, and we asked some other people to also apply. And if you get tickets, you'll get 4. So we had it set up a while back when you could apply for the Masters tickets. We had talked to our daughter Haley and said, what do you think about going if we get the tickets next year in April? Do you think you and Vin would like to go? And she was like, oh my gosh, we would love to. So I said, go ahead and apply and try to get a couple of other people to apply. And we did the same. Well, needless to say, no one got through, which again, it's very hard to get in. And it doesn't mean that we couldn't go to Augusta, Georgia and try to get tickets while we're there, but there's a risk to that. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. So we were talking about how it'd be a bummer if we need to see if there's any way that we have some connections in Augusta because we have family there. If one of our family members is like, oh, don't worry, I can get tickets, then we're probably going to get planning this little mini trip away. Anyway, we were talking about how Haley and her boyfriend Vin are just the perfect couple to go with. They are just the perfect couple to go to this tournament if it works for us. And I had shared, and the other thing too that's interesting, this is me talking to Paul, is we all move the same. We all move the same. Like we're aggressive. We're on it. And Paul and I have been to the Masters before with another couple and love the couple, but not everyone, my point is not everyone moves the same, okay? Even if we're the same age as someone, not everyone moves the same. We know when we need to hustle. And I'm no Energizer bunny. I don't do anything fast-paced, but I will do things brisk if it's called for it. So we were saying how, Haley and Vin, they're just the perfect couple because we have the same energy level. We have the same stamina. And I've talked in previous videos about when you vacation with other couples or other families, you really do need to get an idea the dynamics of how they move. Do they move early in the morning? Are they late people? Out and about, what type of movement? Are they kind of just, lollygag or are they aggressive? Can they walk? And I'll give you an example. While we were in Boston, we walked the Freedom Trail. That day, we put in 27,000 steps. And my daughter Haley is half my age. She was born when I was 25. So she is half my age, but yet my health and my condition matches hers. Clearly, she's younger and has more advantages than I do, but I could probably run a longer race than her if we needed to right now, because I'm probably a little bit more cardiovascularly fit. The point is, I can keep up with her, right? We can do the same pace, and that is really important. And Paul, he still can move and groove with the best of them, right? Because we've taken care of ourselves in that way. And I know you're probably wondering, where are we going? But there's a message. There is a message. This is just I guess I should have my coffee. I need some coffee chit chat. So our conversation, Paul and me, this conversation we had this morning over coffee was about that. We talked about how, we can keep up with our kids. We can still do everything they want to do. We went, when we were in Newport, we did the cliff walk. And the cliff walk is not for everyone. There's some really difficult terrain that will really challenge you. And I was very careful because I am all about preventing and not having injury. And we both said, I wouldn't bring a small child out here, even if I were carrying the child in one of those backpack hiking units. It's just there's too many opportunities for something to go wrong. It's not like climbing a mountain. It's different. It's rocks, and it's very, very hard to maneuver. And there's no other path. You have to go through them. It also wouldn't be for someone probably elderly, right? Because if they have a fall, right? We don't want to put anyone at risk. But I also would say, if you are not quite healthy and quite in shape, it's just not going to be for you. And that's really where I'm going with this. We all get to choose our journey, right? I'm not here to tell you what you have to do. Everyone gets to choose their journey. I'm just here to share the story, to share the discussion that Paul and I had this morning over coffee, and how it made me really think that, yes, at 55 and 52, we can still do and move just as well as those that are half our age, right? That are half our age. And the longer we can continue on that path, and to do that, the longer we do get to enjoy the downtime with our children. And I've shared before, our favorite vacations are with our children. If not together, it's with our children. And we can still do everything. And maybe some of you are saying, yeah, but you're in your 50s. Yeah, 50s is pretty young, isn't it? But there's many people, many individuals that are in their 50s that could not have done what we did. They could not have put on 27,000 steps in about 90-degree heat and keep up. Glad this is a chit chat with no coffee. My card ended. This card must have something wrong with it, because I only get like a little bit of time, and even though I'm getting long-winded. So I don't know when the camera shuts off because the card is full, it doesn't pick up the last little bit that you say. So I have no idea where I got cut off, but I know that you know where I'm going. And I think the last thing that I was saying was, this was a really great conversation for Paul and I to have, because we talked about how we have to, we manage things well, but we need to continue on this path, because we also want to be able to enjoy doing these things with our grandchildren, right? With our grandchildren, as long as we can. As long as we can, God willing, because we know that we don't have control over everything, right? Well, we have control over very little, but managing yourself, you can do. And that can be taken from you, right? At any given moment. So never take what you have as a gift for granted, and never lose sight of managing it. If you're already there and you didn't manage things, and you aren't in a position where your child that maybe is half your age, you wouldn't be able to keep up. It's important to know that it is never too late to step into the power of your own health. and to do what you can. The older you are and the more limited you are, the harder it's going to be, and you have to be realistic about those goals. But there's a lot you can do. If someone is severely overweight, just taking the weight off will do wonders. I have a client, my very first client that I personal trained. Now, she was only in her 50s when she started working with me. She was using a cane. She was using a cane. We got her away from that cane, and she's never revisited using it. Okay, a lot of her life changed when she was able to be more mobile. So taking weight off, that right there will help. But do what you can. And if you're younger and you're not in this position where this is even something that you think about, I hope what I share today can get your wheels spinning, because the choices you make when you're young will make such a significant difference when you're my age. We completely kept up. No one waited for us unless it was a bathroom break, right? But then we all said we may as well all go because we're back on the trail, right? And it's a great place to be. We had such an amazing and beautiful, beautiful time and celebrated our wins, had so much fun. And that's what we do. And I want to continue to be able to do that even physically. So I hope what I shared today speaks to you. If this is something that you need to hear, if you need to share this video, please do. But yeah, it's something to consider. It's your own journey, and you will always be the one to choose that journey. No one can choose that for you. But I hope today what I share gets you thinking. It really does. And yeah, just wanted to share our little morning chit chat over coffee, and now I'm bringing it your way. So anyway, thanks for being here. Don't forget about the workshop that I have coming up, where I walk you through how I track my exercise, my workout, my digital system that I've used for some time. That's coming up. I have a video where I talk about it. I will have that video in the description box below, as well as a link to get signed up and join me for that little workshop, little mini workshop. So thanks for being here. I enjoyed the chit chat. Okay, take care. Have a good weekend.